Go. Good morning viewers, I'm Riska from JIMBARAN News bringing you the latest news for today. The first news is electric cars fewer costs in New Zealand's climate change plan. New Zealand unveiled a blueprint Sunday to phase out petrol-powered cars while its dairy industry, a key pillar of the economy, must less coal numbers under the ambitious plan to be carbon neutral by 2050. The changes are among a raft of recommendations presented to the government by the Climate Change Commission on steps New Zealand must take to drastically reduce greenhouse gas emissions and address climate change.
The government will engage with the sector over the coming months about how that $50 million fund can be best invested and to consider innovative ways to make sure that we meet the higher upfront costs of investing in electric buses. Of course, buses alone won't get us there. Nearly 70% of transport emissions in New Zealand are from private vehicles, cars, SUVs, utes and light trucks. While we will continue to and intensify our work to give Kiwis great options to use public transport, to walk or cycle as a primary means of reducing emissions, we still know that we must decarbonise our existing fleet if we want to meet our Paris obligations and the forthcoming carbon budgets.
Commission Chairman Rodcar acknowledged the advice was ambitious but said it was realistic and made a clear case for immediate and decisive action. He said, as a country, we need transformational and lasting change to meet our targets. There are a few actions that are critical to meeting our targets: electric vehicles, accelerated renewable energy generation, climate-friendly farming practice and more permanent forests, predominantly natives. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern said the document, which will now go out for public consultation, showed the impact of the reforms would not be an economic burden. She said, the cost of action on the economy is not as great as many have previously thought. In fact, action on climate change is an economic opportunity for New Zealand. Action on climate change is critical to our ongoing economic success. New Zealand exporters rely on our clean, green brand, and there will be new opportunities for Kiwi business as we adapt to a zero-carbon economy. The Commission found New Zealand's current climate commitments were not compatible with global efforts to limit warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, but said change was achievable at little cost. A switch from fossil fuels would see hundreds lose their jobs in the coal, oil and gas industries, but the Commission expects many workers to be re-employed in the circular economy, development of biofuels and hydrogen, and in deploying and supporting new technologies. The Commission wants to end imports of petrol-powered cars by 2032 and projects that more than half of all light vehicle travel would be in electric vehicles by 2035. To reduce methane gas levels, the report said farmers needed to improve animal performance while reducing stock numbers by around 15% from 2018 levels by 2030. If farmers can continue to achieve productivity improvement in line with historic trends, these outcomes would be achieved while maintaining total production at a similar level to today. The report said Following the public consultation, the government is due to make a final decision by the end of 2021 on whether to adopt the measures. The second news is Australia calls for pharmacists to join virus COVID-19 vaccination. Australia will invite pharmacists this week to join a government-funded roll-up of COVID-19 vaccine. The federal government said on Sunday, as the country approached 14 consecutive days without a locally accredited case, the government will ask the country's roughly 5,800 community pharmacists to apply for the program, which would pay them to administer inoculation along with doctors and hospital health workers.
The average daily rolling 7-day case numbers dropped from 700,000 on January the 10th to 550,000 at the moment. So that's the first significant signs of drop in global cases. There's a lot more to go, and there'll be ups and there'll be downs, but this is a sustained drop in global cases around the world, not just in one jurisdiction, but in a number of jurisdictions. So all of that's positive. But the next great thing is for the world to advance and progressively complete the rollout of the COVID-19 vaccines. And today I am delighted that our pharmacies will be joining the rollout of COVID-19 vaccines for Australia. We will be issuing what's called an expression of interest to all our 5,800 community pharmacies tomorrow. We'll be inviting them, subject to meeting the standards, to participate in the rollout, just as they do with flu. They're experienced, they're trained in dispensing medicines, and they would be participating from phase 2A onwards. And that means more points of presence for Australians in terms of where they can receive their COVID-19 vaccines.
Health Minister Greg Hunt told that means more points of presence for Australians in terms of where they can receive their COVID-19 vaccine. This is potentially life-saving medication. The medicines can work with differing degrees of effectiveness, but all up, this can improve life, extend life, or save lives. The call to pharmacists came as Australia appears set to record its 14 days in a row without a locally accurate case of the coronavirus, which has infected 29,000 in the country and killed 909. The government plans to start vaccinating priority groups like older and indigenous Australians with a shot developed by Pfizer and BioNTech SE from late February. The plan also involves a vaccine developed by AstraZeneca plc, although that product has not yet been approved by Australia's Therapeutic Goods Administration. Hunt said pharmacists involved in the program would receive training to administer the AstraZeneca vaccine, with first shots planned in May. That's all the news for today. Check this out at stibajranews.com for the latest updates. I'm Riska, thank you for watching and have a great day. Go.